J Rock, man, J Rock might be messing up a couple of things, but at the end of the day, he has to do what's in the best interest of himself and the best interest of his family. It turns out that J Rock might not be, um, pulling that rematch clause against Rosario. Um, I can't blame him. I guess I would say, just if you look at it, kind of like with Hurd, the way that he got her, he lost. It happened in a way where he knew that he had things that he needed to work on. He was pretty much grabbing new coaches and everything, and he understood that long term probably wasn't in his best interest. He was even thinking about jumping up in weight, but then decided to stay at 154 pounds. Wants to get a couple of fights in, try to get better as a fighter, and then go ahead and do the rematch. As far as J Rock, I'm not sure exactly when they would have to do that rematch. He took a lot of damage in that fight, and obviously ended up being stopped. So a situation where who knows? Did he have to fight in 4 months, 3 months? Was it something like of that nature, where he needed more time to heal? Not only might he need more time to heal, he might also need time to work on his skills, or he might just be like, you know what? I don't want to go directly into a fight that heavy, that strong, right away. The guy's been smart with his money. He was smart enough to sign with Al Heyman. So he's been getting good money, even though he was in those undercards. He was getting enough money where before the fight with Rosario, he had already accumulated enough. He had already purchased over $1 million worth of real estate that was bringing him in residual income. 20% down, that's $200,000, not including closing costs. If they're commercial, I don't know if he bought them commercial. Commercially, 25% down, so he might be looking at $250,000. You know what I'm saying? And I know somebody buys certain properties too. I think about a one family that he ended up turning into a duplex because of where it was where it was zoned. You got to remodel all that, redo all that. So he's he's being very very smart with his money. And then with the Rosario, probably got paid what he's supposed to get paid with Hurd. So you're looking at all of a sudden now you get a six figure what's it called check on top of it. So now you're gonna triple or quadruple what you have as far as residual income that's coming to you monthly. So it might be smart for him to just kind of be like, all right, let me look out for my health, my well-being. Let me not put myself into a space where I might be on a fight of that magnitude again right now. It's the second time I've been stopped in a fight. So let me kind of get myself back together, get back to the drawing board, and come back when time is right. And the fact that he signed Al Heyman, you know, he's in a space where he can make those type of decisions. A lot of people don't have those kind of decisions. Can't aren't in the space where they can make that decision. They got to do what they got to do. You know, from getting gypped and played and things of that nature. So as far as from him, it's cool. But as far as everybody else, we're effed, man. We're effed because I hear some people saying, "Oh well, yeah, that means Charles gonna fight Rosario now." That fight's not happening unless it's a situation where somehow Rosario is pushed, or if he wants to fight other people, they're like, "Fine, but we're not putting on any main cards," or where they kind of like push his hand in some way. It's not gonna happen. Rosario's manager and promoter made it very clear they're not fighting Charlo. Like, oh, that's a fight that should be built up. He should go fight other people, and we should fight other people, and we should get, and then like maybe 3, 4, 5 fights down the line, then we can fight on a pay per view. That fight's never going to be a pay per view level fight. That's going to be number one. Number two, Rosario's not going to keep that title for that long. I think it's kind of almost like an injustice to him because his promoter's going to try to ride, I guess, quote, a gravy train. They're going to try to milk the cow, and it's not going to end up working out. This guy has losses. It's not like this guy's just been this undefeated fighter that's been dominating everything. This was the first camp, I guess, probably that he had a full camp to fight, and he was dominant, but it doesn't mean you're going to be like this in all situations. Stop, make fights. Hurd was running through everybody, but when it came to, J Rock, you saw what he did to J Rock. When we saw what J Rock did to him. We saw what when it came to J Rock, we saw what happened between him and Charlo. But then we see what happened between him and Hurd. But then we saw what happened between him and Rosario. So tomorrow's not promised. You could Rosario could say, "I'm good." Go 2 fights and lose that belt. Then are we gonna be back in the same damn situation? Because he's gonna definitely want to take his rematch. So that fight that should happen next year. A unification between Charlo and whoever owns those two belts to have all three belts. Around someone's. I'm gonna call him the undisputed champion because that WBO belt and who has it don't mean ish. At 154 pounds, I'm gonna call that person whoever has those three belts. They're undisputed. Period. They're undisputed. Because that other dude that has that WBO belt, literally the contenders that would stop him. He's not. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't be favored against J Rock. He wouldn't be favored against Erickson Lubin. Nobody like that. And not against a Rosario. Not against a Charlo. Not against a Herd. You know what I mean? Right now, he would not be favored against a Herd. He'd get stopped. So whatever. So since they don't want to play with the big boys, you know, whoever wins this is basically undisputed, is the best in the division, hands down, with no questions whatsoever. But unfortunately, we're not going to get it. Obviously they are fighting on PBC, they are working with Al Heyman, but there are situations where Al Heyman is working with certain people, but those certain people have promoters. Like Benavides has a promoter that's playing him bad, by the way, playing him real bad, but he has a promoter. Until that contract is done, it is what it is. Until that contract is done. So, Rosario has a promoter, and that's their plan. They think they can, just milk that and somehow turn him into some kind of big superstar and make big time money without actually fighting, the top tier guys. So, shout out to J Rock, man. Definitely wish him and his family the best. Keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, keep being smart when it comes to, the business aspect of life. So you can walk away tomorrow because he can walk away tomorrow and be good. He already has the foundation set for himself where he has that money coming in. He has his properties and he can just buy more and 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 be good and leave his kids, a legacy. You know what I mean? Leave his kids, you know, the footwork to never have to work for anyone ever. Forget him, his kids will never have to have a job ever. All because we're making substantially less than a lot of people in this game. But he's been smart with his money, so he's good. So unfortunately, we won't begin that big fight, but sometimes that's how it is in boxing. Rosario, you're making a big mistake because in a couple of fights, you're going to be out of there and you're going to be wishing that you had taken that big, huge fight that's right in front of you right now. 7 figures. 7 figures in the Dominican Republic. 7 figures in the Dominican Republic. You'd be good. You can do the same thing. Buy real estate over there. Rent those out. And live the life. A man with a wife and kids. But his promoter's going to try to milk the situation because he loses. Who cares? It's on to the next person. He's going to be good. But the person's going to suffer in that situation. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, going to end up being Rosario, his family, his kids. That's how it is in boxing sometimes, though. Real grimy. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.